just lose it. Oh, there it is. I like Sam Cooke. Well, I like his voice. I like his music. I don't know if I like him. He's been long gone. He got shot at a hotel. I won a contest, a dance contest, when I was 15. Twisting the night away. Man, I've done so many cool things. I don't realize how much cool stuff I've done because I'm too busy trying to do the next thing that I don't take a lot of time to appreciate all the cool places I've been. Today, I said, I do this thing that my new thing is I got a new things for my channel, and so what I'm gonna do is every talk I'm gonna put a different location and then tell a story about something that happened at that location. Today it's Mount Shasta. Today I'm going to talk about Mount Shasta. Mount Shasta, the Earth's first chakra. You know how we have energy fields on us? So does Mama Earth, Gaia. And the Earth, or Mount Shasta, is the Earth's first chakra. So they say. Whoever they are, I never get to meet they. So I went one time back in 20. No, it wasn't even in the 20s. We got to take another number off. Back in 19. The year was 1995. I was 21 years old. It was 94, 95. And I worked at a Mexican restaurant in Redden, California, called Chevy's Fresh Mex, and some buddies of mine, husband and wife couple, invited me to go snowboarding. I'd never been snowboarding. I always wanted to do that. See, my whole thing is I just want to do what all the important people do. And see why the important people are doing these things. So one day we packed up because I grew up so poor. We were not important at all. So we never got to do anything. And I wanted to be on the side of people that got to do all the fun stuff. So we packed up and head up the hill. Hey, what's up? And drove from Redding, where I lived, to Mount Shasta. And we're like passing around a flask with like JB brandy in it. So by the time we got there, I was toasty. And we go up the ski lift on Mount Shasta, the Earth's first chakra. And the way it's set up is, I don't know how it is, if it's the same way now, probably, I don't know, it was freaking years ago. And so you came off the ski lift, and then there was the hill, and then it went down and around. But by the time we got up there, the sun had hit it, started to melt, and then we were on just a sheet of ice. And I'd never been on a snowboard in my life. They're giving me tips. But I'm not somebody that you can tell how to do things. I have to watch and do it myself. And so I came off the ski lift. As soon as that snowboard hit the ice, it slipped out from underneath me. I went straight down on my tailbone and broke my coccyx. They had to pull me off on the side of the road because I'm right in the way the people are trying to get off. And I'm like disassociated. I'm experiencing so much pain that I've left this earthly plane. And so they pull me off. I'm gathering my senses. And then now I gotta try and figure out how to get down at the bottom of the hill with the broken tailbone. Like, I had an experience. I mean, I fell 25 feet out of a tree, landed with my ankle at a 45-degree angle. It didn't break, and it didn't hurt as bad as that. You, Brazil? Today I'm in Mount Shasta, Mount Shasta. Well, not figuratively, not literally. Um, and then I made it down the hill. And there's nothing you can do for a broken coccyx. There's nothing you can do. You just have to sit like this for like a year. I still can't sit direct. I move around a lot. Had a lot of accidents. I'm very accident prone because I like to try and see if this works, and oftentimes it doesn't. So, today I called today's talk Santa is a Psych Op. And the reason why, I put it into the made up realm. Let's see what the interwebs say, right? Santa is a Psych Op. Because sometimes I'll like to see if anybody else is in line with my thinking. So, what AI came up with is it's a common sentiment in pop culture, internet discussions, and some psychological critiques. The concept often suggests that the Santa Claus myth, see, because baby Jesus isn't even born in December. It's all. Thank goodness for William Donahue. He puts the puzzles together. A lot of the pieces. He contributes a lot of the pieces to the puzzle. 9/11. That's why we did what happened on 9/11. It was to pay homage to their false god. See, they tell us to believe in the god, like, but like first they do Santa, be good. And then here's religion to elaborate on all the good you should be. Give us all that you are so that there's nothing left with yourself. I keep seeing how these mega churches have, that woman kept calling to see if they would help do that social experiment to see if they would help feed starving kids. We grew up hungry. A lot of holidays we didn't have food. So we just never did holidays. That's all. We just don't do holidays. And then it takes away all the pressure of having to keep up with all the Joneses and all the people that say I need to act a certain way and I need to go along and I need to be obedient when just because that's what they need to do to feel safe and whole in their lives. I don't need to do what they need to do. I call them the burrow brats, the powers that be, the control freaks, and I do what I can to stay away from adverbs like things that indicate race. See, because I believe that we are just shades of the rainbow. We're all just a color in the rainbow, and it doesn't matter what color you are. It matters what you do with what you are. So if you're going out there creating carnage and raising Cain and hell on earth and causing destruction and never cleaning anything up and just stinking up the joint everywhere you go, and other people see, well, look, they can do it, I can do it too. English, yes. Then you got a whole society of people it's a free-for-all. Because they ain't never learned no discipline. So that one time when I went snowboarding on Mount Shasta and broke my coccyx, and I didn't even get to snowboard. Like, I was just trying to get down to the bottom of the hill so I could get to the bar and drink off all this pain that I was experiencing. So, oh no, let me finish with Santa's a Psych Op, and we'll go back to the Mount Shasta story. So what they have, so this is what this comes up with. The no place space. The concept often suggests that the Santa Claus myth is a tool for parental manipulation, social control, or a capitalistic ploy. And that's how I've always seen it. Because we didn't get to do Christmas because all of my Christmases during my fun years were spent 11 and a half hours on a Greyhound bus. So I got to just use my imagination. Santa never delivered And then there oftentimes we didn't have enough money for mom to buy presents. We were like the family that was drawn at Denny's. We were the charity family. My whole life, I got to do a lot of really cool stuff because other people invited me along. So what I do now in life is I try to create cool environments and invite other people along, help them feel included, because that's what I'm trying to do, is to create inclusion in my own way, like all these other. See, that's the thing. It confuses me because I see other people like astrology readers and all these healers and these people that deem themselves so important and charge you to hang out with them. That's weird to me because money's not even real. And what if we, like, there's a lot of people that are flooded out of house and home up in the Pacific Northwest right now, and it's only going to get worse because they're only going to get more rain. They don't care about Christmas. But still, there's parents that are going to try and do whatever they can to give their kids a normal. What? There's no normal. There's no normal. There is no normal. Because what is normal for one person, it's not going to fit for everybody. And normal is indicative that it's for the sum of all parts. And not everybody is having the same experience. Not even every. I remember when I was a little girl, and I became a woman when I was 9 years old, where I could have a baby. Where like you can menstruate, so you can have a baby, and it creeped me out, and I hated it every month. Like all of the stuff that comes with. I don't like all the stuff that comes with female. Not that I hate being a female, but it's gross. It's uncomfortable. Things hurt. Like, and then people want me to act like it doesn't, so that they feel better, and that's stupid. They're not suffering. I am. Why don't they try to do something to make my ease my suffering? Instead of me having to pretend like I'm not. And so, I just have always picked up who the controllers are. Like whenever anybody's trying to modify my behavior, I saw problems with that. Because I don't go around and I don't tell people how they should act. I don't care how people act. I share with people how I've acted and the consequences of my actions, what that got me. Like, if this, then that. If you act like this, then this is likely going to happen. And now we're seeing evidence of it all over the world of just what happens when people just go around and do whatever they want. Without ever stop. Just drink as much as you want. Consume as much. It comes with feelings that don't feel good. And then they have to do more to make themselves feel better. Key points related to this idea include, and this is the title of my video today, Santa is a psych op. Behavioral control. Many parents use the naughty or nice list as a way to encourage good behavior. Look around. If you go out in the world, how many people are nice, but they're still going to get Xbox whatevers and new cars and all this stuff because people think, okay, they were a jerk the whole year, but if I'm nice to them, maybe that'll set up. It's manipulation. People, it's just, I can't stand holidays, man. I can't stand them. Trust in lying. Some psychologists and commentators argue that lying to children about Santa, even with the good intentions, can undermine a child's trust in their parents and teach them bad habits of lazy thinking by stifling healthy skepticism. Cognitive development. Others' research suggests that believing in Santa can foster an imagination and a counterfunctional reasoning skills, which are important for development, and that most children naturally figure out that truth on their own around 7 or 8 without lasting harm. Then why even bother? Who's it fun for? It's not fun for me. Holidays have never been fun for me. You know why? Because they're just more days off that people take away from just doing something that they're supposed to do. you know? And now you just put a whole bunch of days in. Did you know when I was in the Air Force, they say military, I'm a whistleblower. I blow whistles. Hey, this isn't true. Hey, that's a lie. Hey, don't believe in this. They're lying to you about that, like Santa Claus. You know, because Uncle Sam, you don't think Uncle Sam, the makeup man, the poster boy for America, you don't think that like he and Santa hang out and talk about what suckers freaking Americans are for believing in their nonsense? People that like to control other beings and other people, they'll do it by any means that they can. They'll tell you, you know, believe in this God. They'll write books. They'll tell you what to believe in the books. And they say, okay, if you're going to be of the good, you will do what this says. To me, that's artificial information when people put fiction and then tell people to believe it is nonfiction. To me, artificial intelligence has run the earth long before it became ingrained in everybody's software. It already lives because it's called, what is it called? Dissemination of information. Just put information out there and people are going to create the reality with it however they like by picking up what information they want that makes them feel better. And how many people do a holiday over and over the same because they had a good time 35 years ago? That's how you get people to stay stuck in the past. You're never going to create an environment in your local community that's conducive for everybody if people are freaking living in 25 years ago watching the same dumb movies year in and year out, living the same year in and year out. You know, it creates cognitive dissonance when people are talking about the new age and the new earth, and then they're like, I'm going to take time off to spend with my family for the holidays. I'm like, there's no holidays on the new earth. What are you? Are you a go along to get along, or are you are you going to show people a new way, a new path? And they just feel safer in their old little program. And I can't stand. I've never been a part of the. You know how like when you in a computer that an outside source puts stuff in there just to get the program to see that there's things different. That's what I do. That's my role. My name's Marge. I'm a Heyoka. I'm an empath. We're the. I don't know. Look, you want to know what that is? Look it up, and then you'll get the definition that's right for you instead of me imposing a definition on you. People need to look up their own stuff because they're having their own reality. With my background, my demographics are much different than other people's. What's that word? Cognitive development. Cultural and commercial arguments. Capitalism. The modern image of Santa Claus was heavily influenced by commercial interests, notably the red suit popularized by the Coca-Cola in the 1930s. It's all marketing. It's all marketing. It makes a lot of people feel bad. So and people in the Pacific Northwest, they don't care. They're not going to care about Christmas this year. I'm pretty sure, like, I don't know where in other parts of the world that they celebrate, but there's so much darkness that is running people because that's what they allow it with their free will. It's so funny. People are like, we have free will. We have free will. I'm like, why do so many people, when I'm trying to connect with people, why do they use their free will to ignore me? Why is that a thing? I just am trying to contribute. You know? That's what the human experience is, right? Is engaging and making things better by sharing ideas. Isn't that what it's supposed to be about? But no, I can instantly tell who is the self-serving, self-absorbed, freaking natural healer, astrologer when they ignored me. I get ignored a lot. I can tell you why I get ignored a lot. It says it right here. With Aries Sun, you lead with courage and enthusiasm, and like attracts like. Your boldness inspires others to join you on adventures. Venus is making it clear that people are drawn to your fiery spirit. They appreciate your genuineness and ability to make them feel alive. Your warmth invites others into your world. Enjoy the admiration and closeness that comes easily during this time. And I always feel so positive, and then I go out there and I'm like, oh, let's engage. And people are like, I'm not like you. I'm cold, dark, damp, and stupid in my brain. So as a result of likes attract like, get away from me. And that's pretty much what I get wherever. But people have free will, you know. One of my parts of my spiel that I'm trying to do is to get people to understand that your chart, your astrology can say these things. We always have the power to rise above our astrology. My astrology says, like, I'm all angry and mad, and you know, I have all these potentials, and I can do. Everybody has that in them. The thing of it is I practice restraint. I practice discipline. I know right from wrong. I know you keep your hands to yourself. I know you don't lie, you don't cheat, you don't steal. And the thing of it is there's so many people that benefit from behaving those ways that they don't know it. And then I go out and I deal with people in the world and they don't know what I know. I know you don't lie, no, don't cheat, no, you don't, but they do. And then I see the good in them. And they see the sucker in me. So I've got to learn a lot of lessons on how not to get screwed over and how to fine tune my discernment, because they're always out there just trying to pull one over on you so they could get something that they want without giving up something of their self. I just had this knowing, this realization this morning. When I grew up and people would say, I don't want to deal with you, Margie. I don't want to deal with you. And I'm like, what does that mean? What does that mean? You don't want, you know? And then like all the leadership courses and stuff like that I've taken in my life, all that stuff, you know, they talk about compromise, and being a good leader is making sure everybody, you know, I had to go to Airman Leadership School when I was in the military. They teach you how to be a good, effective leader. And I'm like, you know, every leader I had, like, I know they had to go through this course, but they went rogue. They don't do what the course, you know, that's what I always thought the military and all these other organizations were. It's like, is when they say, do what we say, I just take it as a recommendation. Like, if it works in my life, do that. No, they want you to do that even if it doesn't. That's why the military is so stupid. Military intelligence is an oxymoron. You know? Like, you got a bunch of spoiled brat fraternity boys that were jerks in high school, all on the baseball team, football team, you know, all the people wanted, and they didn't talk much because they didn't have much to contribute, you know. Maybe some of them have 4.0s or whatever, right? And then they go into the military, but they never had to change a tire because their mommy and daddies always did everything for them to take care of them. Then they're like, well, if I say I'm going to go to college, and then the military takes me, then I can go in as an officer and don't have to do all that all enlisted stuff. Okay, now why don't you multiply that about, I don't know, 67,000 times of the people that make up the world of officers in the military. You got a bunch of people, none of them got no street smarts. Maybe they got book smarts, but all book smarts is you trying to figure out how to figure out what you need to do to give to the teacher so the teacher gives you a good mark. You don't got to retain any of that. I don't remember anything I learned 22 years ago when I went to Bellevue University for business information systems. Because it doesn't imply into my world. It doesn't imply into my life, you know. So I think a big part of the awakening that's happening is people are just awakening to their discernment. They're just essentially figuring out what's a lie and what's not. You know? And if it, and there's a lot of situations in life that have happened that I know people are lying to me. I'm just gonna keep the peace. I'll let them lie to me. I just am not gonna deal with them anymore. You know, and year after year after year after year, I've had to watch frickin' this whole capitalism frickin' pile of nonsense. Because, I mean, who's even doing it? They canceled down in Albuquerque. They have a holiday parade that they canceled because too many people, too many shootings in Albuquerque. So, you know, you can't even perpetuate, like, everybody's good and, you know, all, Christmas because it's bullshit. Because people reward themselves for not being good ever. You know, I hear inklings of the words coming back around like sovereignty, sovereign. What and these words define me different to different things to different people based on their background. And the way I look at it is I don't need police because I'm not going to hurt nobody, and I'm gonna keep do whatever I can to keep myself out of situations where people want to hurt me because they feel bad about themselves. Because that's what happens. People feel bad about themselves and they want to hurt somebody because they hurt. And they have to take those feeling the frequency in them and take it out on other people. And instead of using that energy to do stupid things, they could use it to do things like maintenance and repairs and stuff like that. But people in America would rather sit on their couch and be doted over like a bunch of princesses. I know why so many military members frickin' in their lives. There's for all kinds of reasons. Because it wasn't supposed to be like this. The definition of the synopsis of what I was told what America was, America's a lie. America's a big liar. Says we gotta go over there and do things in the name of democracy and freedom, and it's like it's just a dude reading the words off a piece of paper. There's nothing over there that does anything for freedom and democracy here. Why doesn't the American public get that? Washington, D.C. and Hollywood are an extension of themselves. Both Washington, D.C. and Hollywood exist to get people to believe how things should be and how they should act so that they are welcome and embraced as part of the community. If you don't believe in Santa Claus, don't ruin it for everybody else that does. Maybe the people, instead of saying that, teach your kids to have a stronger, unwaverable faith. Give that child every possible argument that they could have to argue, no, Santa's real. If you want, because I'll just give you know, because the people that don't will just give you logical explanation as to why it's not. And then meanwhile, while people are having a conversation, if this made-up dude is real or not, what's happening in real life? More and more people in the United States have just lost their homes, but they don't care because Santa's real. No, Santa's not. Who fucking cares? It's stupid. It's all made-up reindeer games for children. And if you grow up out of the mentality of a child, then you'll know that lying to the kid is probably not the best course of action. You know, so if people want to live on a different earth, you're going to have to do things different than you did on the old one. Like fucking Feliz Navidad and all that stuff. So, I'm the unpopular opinion, and I don't care. I mean, I live in New Mexico. I'm surrounded by indigenous freaking. Everybody's blood should be activating to the ways of the Creator and how we should be treating the earth and one another as stewards and custodians. But heck, that don't happen either. I guess it's that too much of that fire water keeps people stuck in a mindset that pulls them away from their present. I found a cat eye marble the other day. I'm super stoked about it. I'm all for playing. I am. I know I say people play too much. That's just because they should be, instead of playing all the time, they should be working and then making work fun and then and then you don't have to play as much. See? That's the whole point. I want to, mom's sleeping in a little bit today because, shoot, I dozed off last night about 6:30. 7 o'clock, and then I was like, I kept waking up, and I'd be like, Ma, you ready for bed? She'd be like, no, and I'd be like, okay, and then we got up finally. I said, no, we got to go to bed. I said, you got to, she went to the bathroom. We brushed teeth, and then she laid down, and I thought it was like 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I looked at my phone. It was 11:45. I was like, holy heck. What the heck? Timeline flip, man. Timeline flip. I don't like watching people get scared. I don't like it when people are scared. And there's so many fearful people right now. There's so many people. And there's people that are like comfortable in their situation. But what they're starting to see is like 5 years down the road and how things are going, and people get comfortable with a certain way, a certain lifestyle, a certain way of living, like money that they can spend to be comfortable, and then when they start getting uncomfortable, then they spend more money to make themselves feel better, right? This is how I behaved in my life. And then so what I figured out is like, whoa. There's a balance between both. So there's a lot of people out there that are they're really pushing for like readings and let me help you, pay me to do this and that, tell you this and that and the other thing. I'm just glad I only got Mom to take care of, and I never had no kids that I'd have to worry about, because I worry about so much. I'm constantly trying not to worry, even though worry and like emotions like that, those negative emotions, although they are valid and I am justified in having them, they serve me no purpose. So I have to flex my faith to keep those at bay. And so like oftentimes I'll feel like I'm feeling too much and I don't know how to get it off me. It feels like a wave, a big old wave standing over me that just wants to crash. That's why I have to meditate and exercise so I can keep my energy field calibrated. You get too much static in there with negative thoughts and trans fats and all that stuff, then the wave can crash down all over me, and then I can fall and just succumb to my emotions. And I'm living above my astrology. I don't want to do that, so I'm not gonna. Anyway, it's cold out there. People are living in their cars more and more year after year. It's getting harder and harder for folks. I do see a better way. I just keep waiting for people to line up. As soon as that happens, I think things might actually be okay. But one thing that I like to remind people is don't put faith in these systems. Don't put any faith in any system. Because these systems exist as welfare systems so that the employees within the systems, that they are secure. Not that any of the constituents that they are paid to help are. Don't get it twisted. Yeah. Instead of freaking, don't be sending stuff for soldiers over. They're fine. They got everything they need. They got more than everything that they need. You know? So get that. You want to get like baby wipes and stuff like that, you know? Like, give that to people in your local community that need it. Go out and give it to them. Don't give it. When I went off to Crete, like, there's all these people that's appeal to emotion. Oh, they have to go off and blah, 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 blah. No, we have everything that we need. So you don't need to freaking spend your good money on stuff to send over to people when they're not likely going to appreciate it anyway. I saw that a lot. Because people that have always been taken care of, they don't know what it's like to take care of other people. And you got a lot of military members with the mentality and attitude of that chick in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the blueberry sucker lady. So mom's gonna be getting up soon. I should be getting going. She stayed up freaking like 11:30 last night, man. Anyway, so I'm okay with I never liked the holidays, so I'm okay with more people not liking them less or liking them less. You know, why you gotta emotionally hijack other people and try to make them feel bad just because they are gonna go with something silly? Just get people to believe, hey, yeah, it's make believe. It's just a good time. It's just a story, you know. That's all. Give people lots of options. Just don't give them one reality and then tell society that this is the reality that the people that are right believe in. We live in an all things possible multi-universe. So for every perceiver, for every person having an experience on this earthly plane, for everybody having an experience on this earthly plane, that being, they're all different earths. And no people are living on the same earth because no two people have the same perception. It's just weird to me that people like to use their incarnation to cause harm and do weird, gross stuff. Like, well, that's not even a people or a human thing. That's a being thing that are hijacked with these vibrational frequencies that say, hurt them, blah, 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 you know, shoot them, stab, you know, whatever. And it's like, that's sick. That's sick. Yeah, there's so many people in New Mexico that listen to that voice because they aren't strong enough within themselves to dig deep to that connection within them that says, don't cause harm. Don't hurt them. They're just surfacey little hitas and hitos. Aunties and uncles. And that's why this place is generationally toxic. Generation after generation, because people aren't accountable and have discipline within themselves. It's not me, it's them. I think I'll go have some discipline today. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you have a rad day. Peace. You ready to get up, Mom?